Shalom, shalom.
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 All right, we GmsLouisianaSaints coming back at you with another live lesson. But before we get started, we're going to face the east and we're going to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Harakakodash.
Give honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings as well to the men, women, children of the hopeful elect. All right, the 1/3. All right, and the men that are diligently, preaching His word throughout the four corners of the world. And we was speaking, all right, before the camera rolled, going into, if Jake was to rule the kingdom, all right, if he had the opportunity to rule the kingdom, in what fashion would he rule the kingdom under? All right, would it be under the fashion of the world, or would it be through the understanding of the scriptures? All right, we're gonna get a few scriptures, and Lord willing, that be edifying.
That's right. It's the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 21. Most likely, can I start up?
Right up.
All right. I'm gonna start at verse 16. All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 16. It says, "For in His hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also and knowledge of workmanship."
That's right. All knowledge and wisdom come from the Heavenly Father, man. It's not of us. All right, you got it up.
For in His hands are both we and our words, also wisdom and knowledge of workmanship. For He hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made and the operation of the elements, the beginning, ending, and midst of the times, the alterations of the turning of the sun, and the change of seasons.
That's right. So the Lord has given His prophets, all right, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of how everything works and operates, all right, underneath the sun, all right, the Sabbaths, the seasons, all right, what's the purpose of the moon, what's the purpose of the sun, all right, so forth and so on, man. All right,
And if I could say, just backing the brother up, because from the beginning it says, in the beginning there was what? The word was with the who? Allahayim, man. All right, and who's that top Allahayim? Yahushai. So, Lord willing, if we're of that number of the elect, we were there in the beginning, rooting the foundations with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. That's an important title, man. That's an important lot to be fulfilling in these last days. And you Americans, all right, you Westernized, today would be Hellenized as well. Americans, your mindset of us is nothing, man. You see us in these streets and you want to persecute us. You want to put us down. You want to take our lives. You want to slaughter us just because we tell you the truth, man. But it says, all right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 18, the beginning, ending, and midst of the times, the alteration of the turning of the sun, and the change of seasons.
We're going into, again, the sun, the moon, paying attention to the signs in the air, all right, the signs in the sky, all right, to know what time of season you're in, all right? Whether it be high holy days or whether it be a sign from the Lord that His return is nigh. All right?
I got two precepts for you real quick, guys. It's Isaiah 46 and 10. It's the first one. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure.
That's right. So the counsel of the Lord, all right, from the beginning, all right, to the end, they will what? Preach the downfall and destruction, and that the Yahushua gonna come back, man. All right? All these prophecies unfolding. All right?
That's right. And it's the second one. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 10, because back alluding to the brothers on just parallel to the conversation that the brother Amanya sparked before the camera started rolling, man. All right? Because this travail that we've been given under the sun, all right, can only be accomplished by a selected few that have been here from the beginning. All right? Only a selected few that have predestined to be here from the beginning can withstand these times, man. and are going to get spiritual powers, are going to call upon the name of the Lord with one consent in a pure tongue, a pure language, going to bring back the kingdom through their loins, man. Let's talk about the elect, all right? Ecclesiastes 3 and 11. I had seen the travail which the Most High had given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. Verse 11 is the point. He had made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he had set the world in their heart so that no man can find out the work that the Most High make it from the beginning to the end. You got it, huh?
That's right. So the Lord, can you read that latter part again one more time?
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11, it says, also he has set the world in their heart so that no man can find out the work that the Most High make it from the beginning to the end.
All right. So these words have been given to the elect. All right. To preach. All right. To the four corners of the world, so that the end will come, man. All right. On how to govern yourself, how to govern your people, how to go about things, how to live your life, man. All right. According to the scriptures. All right.
All right, we'll go back to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7. You have one?
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7, verse 21. And all such things as are either secret, or Salaki, verse 20, I skipped the verse, Salaki, I think it says, Wisdom of Solomon
19.
7 and 19, kind. The circuits of years and the positions of stars, the natures of living creatures and the furies of wild beasts, the violence of winds and the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants and the virtues of roots.
Right. So all of these things were given to the elect through Yahushua, the understanding of everything when everything was created in the beginning. All right. And we've been cut off for that knowledge, impartial. All right. For right now, but in the kingdom, what we're gonna receive all of these things again, man. We're gonna receive, the purpose of, different plants, the benefits, and stones and different things like that, man. All right. We're gonna get all this knowledge back. All right. When the kingdom comes, right? All right.
All right. Verse 20 it says, the nature of living creatures and the furies of wild beasts, the violence of winds and the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants and the virtues of roots. Hey, because if I could say, all that wisdom and knowledge and understanding, back in the brother Amar's up, it's going to be allotted to us in the kingdom, man. But like when you go into the different dimensions, all right, you got the first dimension, underwater, second dimension, which will be earthly realm, the third dimension, which goes into the space, and the fourth dimension, which is the heavens, all right. Just like you got three heavens, all right, the earth, the heavens, and then you got the space system, and then you got the heaven of heavens. That's right, man. All right. So when you're underwater, right, what do you need to go underwater? Oxygen, a spacesuit, oxygen mask. To live on this earth, what do you need right now? These corruptible bodies, man. That's what we exist on the earth with. And in the space, what do you go into space with? So-called spacesuits, right? All right. And in the heavens, you need what? Celestial bodies, man. Heavenly bodies, man. So we're coming into a transformation, and the incredulity of the world is not going to separate us from this right here, man. This is too powerful, too everlasting, too sure, and too much of a foundation for us to leave this, man. Everybody's leaving and departing and going their way for the world, man. But only a solid few that have been here from the beginning. We can't even deny it, even if we wanted to deny this. If we're of the elect, we can't deny this even if we wanted to, man. Because the Most High wouldn't allow it because we've been here from the beginning, man. We're predestined to go through whatever we're going to go through. But 21, Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 21. And all such things as either secret or manifest them I know.
That's right. So all such things that are either secret or manifest, them I know, man. All right. So there's abundance amount of knowledge and wisdom out there, and some that we know and some that we don't know. But eventually, all these things are going to be revealed to us within time. All right. Of the transition. All right, to our kingdom.
Verse 22. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtile, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good.
That's right.
Ooh, that's
So
wisdom, man. Man, ooh, you got it up.
yeah, and all of this is wisdom according to how you should be able to, how you should be governing the world, man. All right, but we don't see that here on this side because it's not under Yahweh Shai, man. All right, it's under man, under the knowledge, or should I say, you know, man is running it to his flesh,
Right, bro.
you know.
Yeah, bro. It's kind of it's going at each other, man. The flesh and the spirit go at each other, man. All right. Your spirit comes with what? With that is righteous. Everything that and Wisdom of Solomon 7:22, man. That's wisdom. That's what your spirit comes with, and the flesh comes with everything that is opposite of that, man. Deceit, uh, malice, corruption, wickedness, all type of other things, man. They just battle each other constantly, man. All right. The part of you that wants to do good battles the part of you, all right, that you're trying to minimize that's in the world, man. You're trying to constantly fight it, man, because it keeps coming back because the Most High keeps trying you, man. You got it, the mind.
Uh, this is real quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 5. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, an error which proceeded from the ruler. And of course, the current ruler of the planet Earth, the current judge of the planet Earth is, Esau, Edom.
That's right.
It says, verse 6, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. So right now, folly, what is folly? Foolishness. Foolishness is what governs and rules this world. Hence why, you see, when you look at the people of this world, they're all bugged out, drugged out. Okay, they don't know what to believe in. They're wearing masks. They're all juiced up. Okay, and that's all because, this world isn't governed by wisdom. As the
Right.
brothers, right, as the brothers was, going into, because when you look out in the world right now, there's a covering cast over the planet Earth, like it goes to in Isaiah the 25th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. This or 24th chapter, shall I say? Whichever chapter it is. But this world is under a covering cast, darkness. Okay, because of all this foolishness that we see ruling over the planet Earth, coming
25.
from. All right, Khan, 25.
25 and 7, kind of.
All right, Khan. Yeah, this world is under a great veil of darkness. Due to the current rulers of this world, not ruling it in wisdom. Destroying the planet, destroying the air, destroying the water, destroying the trees, the food, and so on and so forth. You got it out.
Right. Like the brother saying, man, wisdom can't pass through this society and the rulers thereof, man. Wisdom is passing through us, and that's why you see the society doing what it's doing. It's crumbling. You see all the things in the media. You're seeing it fall down because it's according to prophecy, and it's according to the Lord's will. And the Lord's will is going to stand above all these other contradictions of the world, man. All the incredulity of the naysayers, like they say in the world, you're always going to have somebody that's going to hate on a good and a righteous cause. They hated on Yahweh Shai when he came on the scene. He stood for a righteous cause, and he didn't bend, break, or fold. The world naturally is susceptible to hating something like that, to hating the spirit of a man that is, a man that a spirit that is in a man like that, man. All right? So the world naturally has a disposition against us, man. It naturally wants to destroy us. Like the scriptures say, Satan desired to sift you, man. But Satan is playing the Most High's game. The Most High is orchestrating Satan's act to orchestrate Esau's act, man. And he's rulers and kings of the earth. But guess what they say in the end? The joke's on who? You, Esau. You got it up. I got a little bit more if y'all put some mind.
Yeah, I'll finish in that chapter.
All right. Verse 22, Wisdom of Solomon 7, Salaki 23. It says, kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things. So that's a tool by the Most High to oversee all things by wisdom, man. But wisdom is according to the Most High's will, though. It's not wisdom according, because we know wisdom in the world, man. What wisdom of the world looks like. Jacob coming to you and tell you everything to do about pipeline. Tell you everything to do about getting up underneath a car, whatever you need to do, all right? Tell you everything you need to do about, okay, well, you need to Do this for your body. I'm a doctor. Oh, I'm a lawyer. You need to stay out of trouble. Live this life. All right? But the scriptures trumps all of that, man. All of those reasons and arguments to the world, man, the scriptures trumps all of that, man. And that's the mindset that we're in these latter days. But it says, and this is the last bit of it, it says, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. So, by the wisdom of the Lord, through the men of the Lord, we've broken down America, man, by the pureness of this word, man. That's what's destroyed. That's what's uprooted this society, man. That's what's gonna have the stock market crashing. That's what's gonna have these revolts taking place. That's what's gonna have check this out. Yeah. Good. Yeah. All right. A little technical difficulty, I can Salaki about that. It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 25. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore, can no defiled thing fall into her. God, it's Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 25. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High. So that the breath of the Most High is wisdom. But notice the common denominator of the breath of the Most High and the breath and the voice of the prophets, man. Wisdom, correction, upbraiding of the people, man. Because somebody, and I heard this on a video, certain this statement was made, all right. And I'm gonna just say it like this because it is true to some sense. It wasn't true in the sense of what they were talking about, but it's true in the sense that we're talking about, man. Somebody's got to be right and somebody's got to be wrong, man. And the moms of the so-called Americans all across this nation, man, someone has something in their mind that says that's going to prevail. This is going to be the end time. This is what's going to happen in the end. I'm convinced on this. And somebody's got to be right and somebody's got to be wrong, man. The men of the Lord, the Yahweh Shem Yahushai, are going to be raised up and are raised up right now, man. We're just waiting to get that power from the Lord. That's why we're in order, man. This is order right here. Doing these videos, that's a part of our order, man. That's why you see it being done in a proper order throughout a certain group of men. All right, we're not saying the elect can't come from other groups, man. We know they can, man. But the visible representation that the Lord has manifested through these prophecies and through scriptures has been made manifest here across the four corners, man. That little sanctuary. Your pastor shall not be backed into a corner anymore. We visibly see our teachers, man. We visibly see the men of the Lord, man, doing the works. All right, you got it, huh? All right. You got read that. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 26. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High, and the image of His goodness.
Right. So all things, all right, good, and all things holy, all right, come from the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Lord, which is the scriptures, man. How you should govern your people, man. How you should govern yourself. all right, not according to like we were just now saying by man, all right, because your flesh and your spirit are going to be warned against each other, man. All right,
Yeah.
all right, let's sit it out.
Hey, and it said in the image of his goodness, because it tells you in Genesis, the first chapter, that what? Let us make man in our image, man, so that we were made with wisdom, man.
The
All right?
breath of life.
Right. That's how the Most High made us, man. He made us with wisdom. All right. That's why you see when you go into Genesis the fifth chapter, the sons of God. All right. We fell, man. We transgressed. It fell to a lower estate, man. Because of what? Turning our back against the law, statutes, and commandments. What the Most High tells you that there's penalties and consequences for turning your back, and there's rewards for turning your face towards the Most High, man, in repentance. So we're looking forward to our rewards, man. That's why we labor the way we do, man. That's why we don't let nobody get in the way. Everybody want to get in the way. Mama want to get in the way. Daddy want to get in the way. Your cousin want to get in the way. Your mailman, whoever it may be, they all got something to say about righteousness, right? But somebody's got to be right and somebody's got to be wrong. And these scriptures are right. And that's what we follow after. The will of the Most High is right. That's what we follow after, man. You got it,
I got one. This is Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 18. It says, for so the wages of them which live on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that were pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom. So we were taught, and our minds were refined, which means purified, cleansed by the word. All right, and then what? We display these things by our actions, man. All right, we display these things by our actions so that we'll be an example. All right, but the people of this world, man, they do it according to their flesh, man. They're not doing it according to the will of Yahweh Shah, because look how corrupt the system and these people are, man. The justice
right?
system, all right. You know, food. No, like this place is just hell, man. All
We.
right.
Mm-hmm. Ah, not beautiful, bro. I got one after y'all, brother. Just backing that brother up.
All right, you got it. Huh?
You got that money.
Just a quick proverb. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 21. Folly is folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly. So folly, which is foolishness, is joy to a person that is without wisdom. Okay, that lacks wisdom. Hence why you see, the people of this world, they they get into all these these stupid vain customs, the stuff that they see on social media, these TikTok dances, all these little stupid challenges and stuff like that, these pranks, all these things are joy to the people of this world because they're destitute of wisdom. Hence why folly is set in great dignity. And that all explains why the majority of these people in this world, they all have all types of mental health issues and stuff like that. People are committing suicide, people are depressed, people are languishing. Okay, because since this world is so anti-Messiah and they reject the Most High and His Son, okay, it leads to a life of depression. Because people don't want to seek Yahweh Shema Shai, mainly our people, of course. That's why their lives are so all messed up and effed up. Because they reject wisdom.
That's right, bro. Yep. Hey, and just backing the brother Almar's up about that point that he made, because ultimately, like we were saying, someone has to be right and someone has to be wrong. So in that righteousness, we follow after it, but we have a little faith, but of a mustard seed, like the scriptures say, man. All right. But that faith in the eyes of the Most High, like the scriptures say, the angels marvel at us, man, for the faith that we have on this side. And this is just going into that. This Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 1, it says, again, again, one preparing himself to sail and about to pass through the raging waves, calleth upon a piece of wood more rotten than the vessel that carried him. And what can that be likened unto, man? The elect having that what small amount of faith in something that the whole entire world, detests and think will never happen, and think will never come to pass, and thinking that it's something that's just totally oblivious, man. But we have that small little amount of faith that's going to turn into a great millstone, man. All right, and you can liken that piece of wood into what? That stick.
That's a good one.
Right? That wood, those southern and northern kingdoms coming back together, man. These last days, we have faith in that, and that's the word that we preach. It's in our speech, man. All right, but it says, verse 2: For verily desire of gain devised that, and the workman built it by his skill. So with that piece of wood, we clinged onto it, right? And we kept building on that by our skill. We built on that where the Lord give you a certain skill, give me a certain skill. We building on that piece of wood. And guess what it's going to turn into, man? All right. It says, verse 3: But by thy providence, O Father, governeth it, for thou hast made a way in the sea and a safe path in the waves. So throughout all this hell going on, all this hell we're catching, we made a safe path with that little piece of wood, man. All right? Because guess what? Yahweh Shemiel Shah was backing us the whole time, carrying us through it the whole time, man. All right? Defeating you naysayers the whole time. But it says, verse 4, all right, I'm going to read down to verse 6. It says, showing that thou canst save from all danger, yea, though a man went to sea without art, nevertheless, thou wouldest not that the works, backing you up, Amwaz, that the works of thy wisdom should be idle, and therefore do men commit their lives to a small piece of wood, and passing the rough sea in a weak vessel are saved, man. We commit our lives to that small piece of wood, but passing through all this hell, all this danger, we're saved by that, man. We're saved by this truth. We're saved by the word, man. That little vessel took us through all this hell and back, all right? And you other naysayers that's on the outside, you were waving at us saying, oh, well, his ship is just sinking. That little vessel ain't gonna last much longer. That flame gonna burn them up. But we made it through all that, man. Verse 6, the end, it says, for in the old time also, when the proud giants perished, who's those giants talking about, man?
Sons of God.
That's right, man. That's right, I. One more time it says, for in the old time when the proud giants perished, the hope of the world governed by thy hand escaped in a weak vessel and left to all ages a seed of generation. All right, and then you can liken that unto Yahweh Shai, man. All right, we escaped by what? That faith, man. As a mustard seed through Yahweh Shai, man. We're saved, man, through our faith and our works. You got it, huh?
I got a quick one out if you don't mind.
You got it.
All right. This is Matthew 17 and 20. It says, and Yahweh Shai said unto them, because of your unbelief, verily I say unto you, if you have the faith as a grain of a mustard seed, it says, shall you say unto the mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. All right, so if we have the faith of a mustard seed, which is very, very small, all right, then there's nothing that can be impossible. All right, we believe in Yahweh Shemi Shai with the slightest faith. All right, you brothers have it.
You got it, Mike.
It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verses 10 and 11. All right, Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 10. But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. Right? Verse 11. For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain, their labors unfruitful, their works unprofitable. Yes, for those that in this world that despise wisdom, they fall victim to everything that is just listed in the scripture. Their lives are their lives are miserable. Their hope is in vain. And why is that? Because these people of this world, their mindset is for this world to continue. Whereas, which is, being utterly destroyed more and more every day by the elites, ultimately by Yahweh Shema Shai. But, with us, through this wisdom, we seek for, the next world to come to continue, which is what? The kingdom of heaven, where the earth is going to be governed by righteousness, according to the law, and wisdom is going to flourish,
Yep.
That was it on that.
I had a little bit more, Wisdom of Solomon 14, because they got a little bit more on it, I think. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 7, it says, we was talking about those giants right in that wood, that little piece of wood that made it through all those ways, man. All right, it says, Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 7, For blessed is the wood whereby righteousness cometh, but that which is made with hands is cursed. All right? And the scriptures tell you that what? This spiritual temple, all right, was made without hands, man. All right? It's spiritual, man. What house can you build for the Most High, man? This is a spiritual house, man. We're being raised up by the Spirit of the Most High through our faith, man, and our works. All right? But it says, Wisdom of Solomon 14:8, but that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it. He because he made it, and it because being corruptible, it was called the Most High, man. Woo. But it says, for the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High, man. Hey, man. You want to speak on that, Doc?
I got a precept.
All right, go ahead, bro.
This is let's see. This is This is Proverbs 14:2. He that walketh in unrighteousness feareth the Lord, and he that walketh in unrighteousness, bear with me,
In his uprightness.
Shalakia. He that walketh in his uprightness feareth the Lord, but he that is preserved in his
Perverse.
Shalakia, in his ways despise him. It says, in the mouth.
Yeah, perverse meaning defiled, man. All right? Perverse meaning off, bugged out, what we were saying our term, man. Jake got an off spirit, man. Jake perverse. All right? Jake got corruption on him, man, in his countenance. All right? So the Most High could put you in that manner of perverseness, man. Let's not forget. The Most High could put you in a certain mindset. He could put you in a certain behavior. All right? He could put you in a certain mannerism, man. That's just completely off. Go ahead, bro.
All right, back at starting at 3, it says, in the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of says, in the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. All right, and that's the wisdom, man. The wisdom shall preserve us, man. All right, it's going to preserve us to the end as we continue to be diligent, man. For those that are wandering in the ways of the flesh and in the world, all right, they're going to be, destroyed, man. All right, because they chose not the wisdom of the Lord. All right, and that's all the politicians. All right, jakes that's in politics and in the police force. All right, in the military. All right, all these jakes, man. All right, that trust in the system are going to ultimately die, man. All right, what you have about?
You got it, Amani.
All right, just give me a second. If y'all got a quick preset, y'all can bring it out.
I got a quick
get
one.
mine.
I got a quick one. Because we was talking about that. What you brought out about that perversion, bring it out one more time, right? It's gonna parallel that.
It says he being in the mouth of the
Tell me
foolish.
where you read from.
This is Proverbs 14:3. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them.
Right. And what's the part about
This is verse 2.
yeah.
Proverbs 14:2. It says, he that walketh in his uprightness feareth the Lord, but he that is perverse in his ways despise him.
Right, man. Perverse, man. Wicked. All right. This is Isaiah 30:12. Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, you got it, Amos. Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise the word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity. So notice the Lord is calling perverseness and iniquity, man. He's calling trusting in oppression and iniquity, man. So when you trust in your oppressor or the oppression that he's giving you, you going against the Lord, man. The Lord don't want you trusting in your enemy, man. All right? But it says, Isaiah 30, verse 13, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
That's right. And that's talking about, the people that, like the brother was saying, man, you have these kings and rulers over you, all right, and you trust in them, man, all right. They're not gonna lead you towards the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shemi Yahushua, man. They're gonna lead you into the way of their own understanding, the way that you should, the way that they believe that you should be thinking, man. All right, their college education systems, all right, their politics, all right, their culture, all of these things, man, are contrary to the Lord. All
Hey,
right.
hey, here we are having conversations amongst ourselves, saying things like, "Hey, man, you might be possibly be elect, hopeful elect. Like, what if? You know what I mean? Discussing the what ifs. These people in the world will go out and tell you, "Hey, man, no, you're African American. What's your you celebrating your African roots? Like, no type of guidance or knowledge in the world, man. So why trust in that oppression, man? The doctrine of the society, the wine, the ideologies, the dogmas, they all seek to oppress you, man. To put you down. All right? Go ahead, you got it. Y'all brothers got it. That was it on the list.
That was it. All right. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 11 and 12. All right. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 11. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. So having wisdom is good. When it comes with an inheritance. And we that are of the hopeful elect. Our inheritance ultimately is what the kingdom of heaven. So it says,
Ooh, we. Yep.
you want to say something?
You got it. Let's go.
Verse 12, it says, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it." So here it is, wisdom, this knowledge and this wisdom is going to be our ultimate defense as we get closer and closer to, Jacob's trouble, the tribulation, and all these different things. Okay, it's this wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai that is gonna defend us when those days come. Okay, and it's ultimately, as it says at the latter part of that verse, and that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So this wisdom is what gives us life. It brings us up out of that dead state that we were once in. Before we all woke up to the truth. Just like Adam. Adam was in a dead state, so to speak. He was alive, but he wasn't living until what? That breath of life was breathed up to him, which is this knowledge.
Right, bro.
God, you want to say something?
Yeah, if I can say, like you're saying, it says, "For wisdom is the defense, and money is the defense."
Mm-hmm.
But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth light to them that have it. So you can have a defense of wisdom, you can have a defense of money, but whether you're rich, whether you're poor, if you have wisdom, you're above all that, man.
Yeah.
All right, you're still rich, man. You're still on top. That's the moral of the story that the Lord wants us to learn. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, you serve the Lord, you store up your riches in heaven, you're still on top, man. You still have your integrity, you still have your moral, man. And that's what we want. We're not going to bend. We got too many examples in these scriptures of what men went through unto the death. Not only during their walks on the earth, all right, but even unto death, their works, man. So we have examples to what we could go back and say, okay, well, persecution is ahead, prophecy is ahead. I'm gonna use these scriptures to strengthen us. I'm gonna use this apostle's story, this prophet's story, all right? Yahweh Shai's story, which is the whole role, man. This is what guides us. Like they say, like these Christians love to say, we walk by faith and not by sight, but they don't understand what that means.
Yeah.
You got it, right? You got it.
No, I'm just agreeing with you, saying.
Kind
Because these Christians, they don't know what the hell they have faith in. They don't. Man, hey, don't even let us get started on these Christians. Good Lord. Yeah.
you got it, bro.
All right. This is Psalms 37 and 16. It says, "A little that a righteous man had is better than the riches of many wicked men." All right. So as much as you see the wicked prospering, or as much as you see them that they have an abundance of money or cars or clothes or land or whatever the case may be, all right. You know, we have more than them through the Spirit, man. All right, which is this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right. So in the end, we're gonna really have great success, man, because it's moving towards something. All right. Theirs is just what they have here in the physical and what they can see. All right. It says, "For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, for the Lord upholdeth the righteous. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever, Lord." So our inheritance shall be forever. All right, because what? We're dealing with wisdom. All right, we're dealing with understanding. We're building our treasures up in the heavens. All right, spiritually. It says, "They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume, and to smoke shall be consumed away." All right, so they're gonna be, destroyed ultimately, man. All right, because they didn't decide to be, with wisdom, man. All right, and we see that now because we see all the judgment that's taking place in the world, man. All right, you have Jake killing one another. You have Jake taking long sentences because they're committing crimes. All right, they'll lock them up and throw away their whole life, man. All
Right.
right. But I got one more precept out for y'all now.
You got
It's
it.
Joshua 1 and 8. It says, "This is the book of the law, shall not depart out of their mouth, but thou shalt meditate there, therein day and night, that thou shalt that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success, man." So if you
Right.
know, give your life over to the Lord and do in the ways that He tells you to do, then what you're gonna have great success, man. You're not gonna fall by the wayside, man. Getting the things that I just mentioned, man. Getting caught up out here, man. All right, because the devil, the adversary, the devil, all right, which is your adversary, seeketh who he may to devour, man. That's through the spirit, all right, and that's physically, man. This man Esau that's on the earth, all right. But you got out.
You can put me in mind. You got that.
No, you got it. Because I'm ready to go in that Wisdom of Solomon 6 if y'all want to, if y'all's planning on going into that chapter. But
Just, I got one.
yeah,
Okay.
you got it.
All right. 1 Corinthians 7, and we start at verse 29. It says, "But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they that had none, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away." Yeah. Hey, but I can speak on it though. Like you said, the fashion of this world passed away, man, and fadeth away. So us as the prophets, if we're the watchmen, if we're the voice of the Lord, we damn for sure see this place fading away. We're not gonna be subject to this place, and going down and burning with it, man. We're building the ark so we can get out of this nuclear flame, man, the nuclear flood. We don't want to be a part of that flood, man. All right, we want to be holding this place in a sea of glass pertaining to the book of Revelations, man, getting the victory over that beast, over this image, man, over the EU and the NATO. That's something that's powerful, man. All right? Jake can't even, the average Jake that's walking around at a low vibration, all right, don't even thinking about conquering and having a kingly mindset, let alone thinking about getting a victory over the EU and the NATO, man. The average Jake ain't, he's so beat down by the society, his woman, his job, his career. He's so docile and just with that westernized mindset, he don't even think about, he's not thinking about this, man. Jake is not thinking about this, man. Jake thinking about his turnaround plant job, his bi-weekly paycheck, all right, how to please his woman, all right, and how to trick off his money, man, like a simp. That's what Jake is into, man. Jake don't want to hear these heavenly words. These words uplift you and motivate you and heal you, man. Jake don't want to be healed. That's why the scriptures say, the whole head is sick, man. Petrified sores. Y'all brothers got it. Brother got the precept look like.
Jake, thinking about this upcoming football season. Oh man, you think Brady go retire by the end of the season, man?
Hey,
who gives a damn?
That's the whole conversation, bro.
Yeah.
That's the whole conversation is the things of this world, man.
Yeah.
All right, what's that new album? And, you know, man, this is crazy, man. All right, now, we watch, football games or UFC or whatever the case may be, but we don't like put our minds to this and say, well, where they gonna be at in 5 years from now, man. We're not even looking that far, man. We're just gonna get out of here, bro. Right? Because we being oppressed here, man. We ready to retire, you know?
That vexes us, man.
Yeah.
We're vexed with the conversations of you Jakes out here, man.
And they vexed with our conversations too. They
Yep.
don't like hearing us talk about this. All right. This is the last thing Jake want to hear us talk about, man. That's the reason why whenever we're on the street corners and they hear us talking about it, they walk away, man. All right.
And Jake knows about the Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell me that 90% of the Jakes that walk past us in particular in downtown Lafayette while we be, at camp, don't know about the Israelites. They know exactly what we coming out to preach.
They know,
right?
But they abhor him that speak uprightly in the gates.
Right.
The brother got a precept for y'all on the common boys. 2nd Ezra 9:1 it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, verse 2, it says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
And that's that's the prophecy, man. We're looking at all the hell that's going on in the earth, and also we're feeling the hell that we're catching in this place, man. All right, and we're gonna get out of here, and we know that our redemption draws nigh because of all the evil, man, of what's going on pertaining to prophecy.
That's
all right. So,
right.
but Jake, man, they're not paying attention to prophecy, man. All right, they want to like I keep on bringing that same iteration of that movie where it was going into the Matrix, man, because it's such a beautiful point. All right, which is ignorance is bliss, man. All right, you don't care.
That's right, bro. Hey, the brother on the comic board, and I got one to back that up because that was the spirit I was I'm in John 18 chapter, all right, but I'm gonna back that up because it's on point with the lesson. It's John 15:19. It says, if ye were of the world will love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. And that's the example the brother was making about the Matrix, because we know this is talking about Yahweh's kingdom being not of this world, and therefore his servants being not of this world. But the point the brother was making in the Matrix, Neo and Morpheus, that's what they were trying to relate a message to those that were living in that fabricated world. Hey, we're not of this world. Look what we're doing outside of this matrix, man. All right, look what's going on. Look what we're connected to. A higher power basically telling them. And that's what the elect is telling 2/3 of Israel and telling these heathen nations, man, that are going to be judged, man. And ultimately seeking the lost sheep of Israel, which Neo and Morpheus and the rest of the cast, that's what they were ultimately doing, man. Seeking for those that were what? Trying to get unplugged from the matrix, man. But I got one to back that brother up. It's John 18:36, Yahweh speaking. Yahweh answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then will my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews, but now is my kingdom not from hence.
That's right, man. So this kingdom is not of us, man. This kingdom is not of the Lord, man. It's obvious that it's not because
Not of the world. Time.
Yeah, this kingdom is not of Yahabashim Yahushua. So that's why we're not fighting for this, man. This place is disordered. All right, this place is as the scriptures say, it's out of course, man.
Right.
All right, totally out of course.
That's right, bro.
All right.
Anti-Messiah. Oh, Salaki.
You got
I was going to say anti-Messiah.
Yeah, anti-Messiah.
You got to do it.
Perfect, man. It's anti-Messiah, man. It's against the Lord, man. All right. Anytime you try to uphold anything righteous in this place, all right, you looked at weird, like you got 5 heads. All right, you're not supposed to eat pork. You're not supposed to celebrate your birthday. All right, so forth and so on, man. They
God,
look
man.
at you like you crazy, bro.
Yep.
All right, but that's all right though, man. All right.
Yeah, bro. For doing righteous things, we're looked at and regarded as detestable, man. Like, oh, look at it, and they sit back and they plot on it, man. Oh, look at this guy. Why does he have hair on his face, Bob? Why does he have hair on his face, Sally? What's going on with him? All right, they perceive us as being madmen, like Wisdom of Solomon's fifth chapter said. They perceive us as being these guys that will never take a win, that are always just keep continuously getting oppressed until it's over with for them, man.
Yeah.
But the tricks on you, Esau, the tricks on you, Moab, the jokes on you, Ishmael, Elam, all right, Ammon, the joke's on you, man. You got it out.
I got a quick proverb.
You got it, brother.
This is Proverbs chapter 29. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is a and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. So just as the wicked are an abomination to the righteous, well, on the flip side, the righteous are an abomination to the wicked. And that's that war that the Heavenly Father, set up on the planet Earth. From the beginning, that there are two and two, the godly versus the ungodly, the righteous versus the sinner. Okay, because hey, the Lord is a man of war. He likes to see drama, but then this movie that he wrote, that we're playing out today in this reality that we call life. But of course, we know according to prophecy that ultimately the righteous and the just are the ones that's going to receive the victory at the end of this movie, so to speak. You want to say something, Mark?
I got a piece of backing you up, huh? It's Sirach 33 and 10. It says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. And much knowledge the Lord had divided them and made their ways diverse. Some of them had he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself, but some of them hath he cursed and brought low and turned out of their place. That's right, man. The Lord set us the bosom of Abraham, man. The Lord set us near to him, man. And we're gonna be near to the Lord and joint heirs in the kingdom, man.
To that new covenant.
That's how close. That's right, bro. That's how close we are, man, to the Lord. But it says, this verse gonna back up a mind. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it as his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render them as liking him best. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly, man. And that's order. That's order, man. The sinner is against godly. The godly is against the sinner. That's how you determine who the Lord is dealing with, man. And that's how you determine who the Lord isn't dealing with.
Oh man, hey,
Hey,
I
you
got
got
a
it
piece
up.
of.
Hey, it's just like when you go watch a movie, man. You have the good guys and the bad guys. All right,
Right.
and the Lord has chosen what the elect to be the good guys. All right, and everyone else, all right, to be the bad guys, man. All right, that's because what it's the scriptures, man. All right, and we're watching this movie being played out right now, man.
Right.
Right. So,
You got it,
Just
man.
real quick, just to back up the brother Wadia's point. Uh, this is Malachi chapter 3, and let me see where I'm gonna start at. Well, I'll start at 16. The point is down in 18, but I'm gonna start at 16. Malachi chapter 3, verse 16. They that fear the Lord spake often one to another, which that's happening right now. The remnant coming back, speaking to one another, breaking down these scriptures to to brothers, and
Right.
so on and so forth, building them up. It says, then they that feared the Lord spoke often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that fear the Lord and that thought upon his name. Okay? Verse 17, and they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Now here's the main point. Verse 18, then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. So, upon us waking up to the truth, You know, we're supposed to, have, eventually grow to the ability of discernment to know who's doing right and who's doing wicked. Okay, because as a brother Wadi was bringing out in Sirach the 33rd chapter, right now there's a war going on. Well, there was always a war going on between the godly and the ungodly. The righteous versus the sinner, and so on and so forth. And that's the beauty of this truth and the beauty of this wisdom. Okay, that we've been going over all throughout this lesson. This wisdom gives us that ability to discern between who is the godly and who is the ungodly, who is the righteous versus the sinner. Okay, and so on and so forth. You know,
We not kind, bro. Hey, and everything the brother said, this is just going into it even more. It's Proverbs 24:16. Y'all brothers got it. For a just man fall, and the point is in verse 20. For a just man falleth 7 times, and this is the difference between the righteous and the wicked, the sinner and the godly. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again. All right, that's the lot of the righteous. But the wicked shall fall into mischief, right? So even though the elect, we might fall into some mishaps, we might fall into some bumps in the road, but we're gonna continually get up and not make excuses and push forward towards the kingdom, man. The wicked is gonna fall into mischief and start coming against that which is pure, start trying to defile the doctrine, start trying to come against those that taught them in the first place, man, that built them up. All right, like the scripture saying, last days many shall depart from the faith. Verse 17, rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth, lest the Lord see it and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked. Here's the point. For there shall be no reward to the evil man, the candle of the wicked shall be put out. That's right, man. So in the end, the reward of the evil man is what? That candle being put out, man. The reward of the righteousness is light. Righteousness, man. That candle being at a blaze, man. Fervent. On fire, man. So that's how you tell in these latter days, in these twilight of the latter days, like the apostle went into, that's how you tell who's doing the will of the Father and who's not, man. Who's fervent in spirit. Who's teaching the doctrine, man. All right? Who's putting all the other bullshit that's coming up against them aside and focusing on the main goal, man. That's what we're focused on. Y'all brothers got it. We're gonna get a couple more and take it out.
This is Hosea 14:9. Who is wise, and he shall understand these things? Prudent, and he shall know them. For the ways of the Lord are right, and the just shall walk in them.
Mm,
But the transgressors shall fall therein, man. All
there you
right, so
go.
the ones that are following the Lord, all right, they're gonna have great success in the everlasting kingdom, man. Because if they keep on enduring that, man, all right. But the rest of everybody else, all right, that are in the world, all right, that are following the ways of the Lord, their flesh, guess what? They're gonna fall they're gonna
By
fall
the
therein, man.
wayside, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna be made manifest. Like the Lord's gonna lay it out. Like, hey, look, this is the world. This is the men I'm dealing with. Because
Yep.
what's surrounding them is light. The world is gonna dwell in darkness, man. These prophecies are gonna get real dark for you people. These famines, this pestilence, uh, these kings being rooted out of their rulership and others being reigning in their steeds is gonna get real dark for you people, man. All right. And the only way you're gonna escape these things is by doing these works, man. Present your body as a living sacrifice in sincerity and truth, man. All right, the brother got one on the precept on the comment board, precept comment board. It's Ephesians chapter 5 verse 14. Wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest and arise from the dead, and Yahweh Shah Mashiach shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. All right. And in the beginning it said what? Awake thou that sleepest and arise from the dead. And the scriptures tell you that what? Any man that come to serve the Lord has to become a new creature, man. You have to arise from that dead state and that dust, man. That mindset of the world, that mindset of the heathen, that mindset of Esau Edom. That Esau Edom just steady putting battery packs in you Jake's backs, man. And you moving on it. You teaching your generations upon that philosophy that Esau teach you, man. It's time to break out of those chains, man. But how do you break out of those chains? Like, how did these Christians are contradictory and they say break every chain, loose every chain, but they want to steady bind you. They steady putting you in bondage, man, and more strongholds on you. But this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, like the scriptures say, how shall a man cleanse his way? This is what really cleanses you and takes those shackles off of you, man. This word, this truth, your identity. Wouldn't you want to know? And it's a question to you, Akim, out there. Wouldn't you want to know your identity, man? If you were lost, all right, you lost all your identification. You lost your name. You lost where you came from. You lost who you served. You lost the path that you were on. And someone came forth and presented you with all that information. Wouldn't you want to learn that, man? That would empower you, man. That's what this word does. This word empowers our people, man, to wake them up. Sorry, brothers, guys. We're going to take it out. One, two more, we'll take it out. All right. Hey, I got one more verse. Proverbs 24 and 21, it says, my son, fear thou the Lord and the king. The Lord in all caps, that's talking about Yahweh. Who the world, and it really calls God. And who's the king? Akim? Yahweh Shai, man. That's right. Brother said, black and void of light. That's right, bro. It says, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. For their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knoweth the ruin of them both, man? That's right, man. And that's what's gonna end. That's what's gonna be the end and the conclusion matter for you people. A sudden calamity, man. All right, and it's gonna come to you as a thief in the night, man. And it's gonna be greater than your wildest expectations, Jake. This day of the Lord that's coming up, man. This dark day, all right. It's gonna be wilder than your worst nightmares, Jake. You got it out. Get a few more and take it out.
Because I got two quick proverbs.
You got it. Proverbs. Take it out of yours.
All right, this the first one. This is Proverbs chapter 9, verse 1. Wisdom hath builded her house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. And ultimately, what is that house that's being built up in the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai? This, basically the house of David. This third temple that the Lord is, dealing with in His spirit. Because when you go back, in the ancient times, when the actual physical temples were built up, the first and second temple, ultimately, what would they, to represent? Basically the dwelling place of the Spirit of the Lord on the planet Earth. But now, the Lord is doing that same thing all over again in these other days. But now He's doing that in the form of, men. Not by way of, an actual physical temple built with hands. You want to say something?
Right, and I was just gonna say that, just backing the brother up. Through who? Yahweh Shai, man, which is that word and that truth, which was Solomon. And when Solomon was building that temple up, this is direct correlation to what the brother's saying. This First Kings chapter 7, and I'm gonna start at verse 16, just going into the description and the assembling of the temple that Solomon built what? Ultimately with hands. But now it's being built without hands, man. Right. This First Kings chapter 7, verse 16, it says, and he made 2 chapiters of molten brass to set upon the tops of the pillars. The height of the one chapiter was 5 cubits, and the height of the other chapiter was 5 cubits. And this is back in the Maya. And nets of checker work and wreaths of chain work. So you had legs. It had a foundation to it, man. It was solid. It was sturdy. All right. It was what? Balanced, man. Just as this third temple, this temple built without hands is, man. It's solid, it's sturdy, it's balanced, it has a foundation, man. It has what? Visible representation. All right, but it says First Kings 17 and 17. So like it's 7 and 17. And nets of checker and wreaths of chain work for the chapiters which were upon the top of the pillars, 7 for the one chapiter, and 7 for the other chapiter. Right. Backing up the brother Amani, because that 7 going into what? That completion amount, man. And this third temple built without hands is going to be complete, man. All right? It's going to be unscathed. It's going to endure unto the end. It's going to have a foundation. It's going to persevere, man. All right? Through whatever comes at it, man. It's not going to be blown down by some natural catastrophe, man. Nah, man, it's a spiritual. You got it,
Real quick, I'm gonna read that Proverbs 9 and 1 again. After that, I'm gonna read my second precept.
All right, you got it.
Proverbs 9 verse 1. Wisdom had builded her house. She had hewn out her 7 pillars. And like the brother Wadi was just breaking out, that number 7 representing what? Perfection, completion. Okay, and ultimately, this house, okay, which is the house of David, is being built up into, 144,000 pillars. Okay, 144,000, support beams in this spiritual house that's being built up. All right. Now this is my second precept. This is Proverbs chapter 24, and I'm gonna read verses 3 to 5. All right, Proverbs 24, verse 3. Through wisdom is in house builded, which again is the house of David, the spiritual temple. It says, and by understanding it is established. The foundation of that house is, understanding, wisdom, just knowledge of these scriptures.
Yeah.
All right. Verse 4, and by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. Mhm. Verse 5.
Right, man. Those pleasant and precious riches, those are the dark parables, the wise sayings, all right, the prophecy. Because riches is something that only a certain, like, just talk about it in America. Riches on this side in America is, they say, okay, only a certain amount of people, a certain type of class of people could be rich. That's the same thing with the scriptures, man. Only a certain class of people, type of people, which is the elect, can understand this truth, these wise parables, these dark sayings, and that's how we become rich, man. So there is, the Most High does deal with an elect group of men, man. All right, what you would call, Jay would say, upper echelon, man. All right, elites, man. On the right hand side, you got it, bro.
Proverbs 24, verse 4. And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. Okay, yeah, because when you go back to the time of the ancient temple, we had, vessels of silver and gold and, valuable things like that, right? But ultimately, all of that was all done away with. So now in this modern day spiritual temple, okay, those vessels of gold and silver and valuable things are the men of the Lord, basically. Yeah, hey, the Lord said in Isaiah the 13th chapter, you will make a man more precious than fine gold.
Right,
And Lord willing, we be up that number. Where are those valuable, items of gold and silver in this spiritual house built off of wisdom, or
right.
this temple? Right?
Right.
And this is the last verse. Proverbs 24, verse 5. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increases strength. It's showing you what that true masculinity is ultimately, not how much muscles you have on your body or how much money you have, in your bank account or whatever. True masculinity as well as righteousness is all based off your wisdom and knowledge. Okay, primarily the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord in these scriptures. That's what really truly makes you a high value masculine man.
Yeah,
That was it on that.
that's right,
Can I
bro.
bring out something quick?
You got
This
it,
is Proverbs 12 and 8. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised, man. All right. So, as it says, a man shall be commended according to his wisdom, man. All right. So that's how the split is gonna be, you know, loaded, man. That who are the men of the Lord, and who is the wicked, man. Who are doing the word of the Lord, and who isn't, man. All
That's
right.
right.
That's pretty much it, man.
To back the brother up about that silver and gold and the Lord's precious treasures in that temple. Joel 3 and 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre, Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Basically going into modern day Israel. But who's in control of Israel right now, man? Is it the 12 tribes? Or is it an impersonator imposter? Let's read on. It says, and if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. You carried the Most High's gold and silver, which is his people. But amongst the Most High's people is found the elect. So that's likened unto the elect, man. All right? Into your temples, into these whorehouses. All right? Until this low hell place, man. America forced us here, man. Forced philosophies on us, man. Forced food on us. Stripped us and deprived us from our customs and nationality. But Esau, you got a lot to pay for, man. You got a lot. You're going to take it out on yours, bro. Let's see. Hey, well, Lord willing, this message has been edifying. All right, we're facing the east. We're going to give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sections of time. Abba, Kwam Yashala, Shalom.
Shalom.
Lord willing, see you, Akim. Aqua out on the highways tomorrow. Shalom.